welcome to London for Community-Led World Conference. So Russ and I are here in the centre of London, and we have been meeting with hundreds of other community and membership leaders and experts. It's a conference, a 2-day conference, and day one has just wrapped up. Things kicked off with Nicole Saunders from Higher Logic, and she talked about how over the last 15 years there's been some really major shifts. The first shift was social media transition from forums, and then the impact that chatbots had on support communities, and lastly, we are currently in the AI revolution. With AI, it is time to embrace the change. The AI can't replace human connection, it can't replace direct experience, and it can't replace personal testimonials. So it's time to embrace it and see how we as humans who are working in community and membership and our brands can really utilize AI for the boring stuff and leave the fun stuff to us humans. In the middle of the day, we had Rosie Sherry from Rosieland and Ministry of Testing, and she was talking about how community building often requires embracing multiple channels, multiple ways of communicating with your community. And these multiple tools can often feel fairly restrictive. So she said it is time to own your platform and that your data is crucial for your long-term success. And I really love this. She had this line which was, "Our data is gold and we don't want everyone to have it." So she talked about how they built their own platform and they're really enjoying being able to build exactly what they need for their members, but also being able to own that and making sure that AI isn't having all the fun. Her line was, social media shouldn't be having all the fun. We can do it too. That centralized data where they own everything has also allowed them to have really quick decision making, reducing from hours down to minutes. And then lastly, Brian was just on stage. He's a community consultant and he was talking about reports. Now, reports can sound really boring, but reports are what happens when you want to communicate something really important to your C-suite or to your leadership, and you need to collect that data. He was talking about how in his many years of doing this, he's seen some really great and some really terrible reports. And the important thing is that you are reporting what is really important to your leadership. And we've been talking about this recently with our clients, talking to them about what is the #1 figure that matters to both you and your leadership. Because ultimately, there's lots of metrics, but they don't all matter. What is the #1 metric we're trying to move? He talked about in his reports there should be 3 key components: the quantitative data, the qualitative data, and the what's next. He talks about how often it's the what next, which quite often gets led off. He talks about how we should lead with metrics that matter to leadership, use business language that executives understand, and include trend data, not just point in time. 15 comments now means nothing, but is it 15 comments up 10 from last week? They're the sort of things that matter. Tomorrow, we'll be back here. I'm on a panel and I'm talking about how agencies can help membership organizations grow and thrive. But until then, I'll see you then.